What's up, travelers? Welcome back to the channel. ILIA Plonks here. We are back with map making today, and it's time to finalize the 100 day 1 roads that every geoguessr player should know. If you missed the previous 3 episodes, by day 1 roads, I of course mean the most recognizable roads of a certain country or a region. And we've had 3 episodes already. If you're just tuning in, we've covered South America, Africa, Australia, and Russia already. So maybe worth to check the previous episodes out. Today we're focusing on North America and Europe, and apart from Southeast Asia, these were the most complicated regions for the mapping. Anyway, there are 20, I would say, a little bit more than 20 day 1 roads that I wanted to share with you, and this is gonna be the 4th batch of roads that I'm sharing with you. As soon as the video comes out, you'll also have the link to the full map that you can play on geoguessr and test your knowledge on day 1 roads, ILIA Plonks edition. So yeah, without further ado, let's check out the roads starting from North America. Alright, we're starting with the northernmost coverage, and of course the northern roads are the easiest to remember. We'll have 2 roads in Alaska and 1 road in the Northwest Territories of Canada. Also, a couple of roads a little bit more south before we switch completely to the United States. Alright, first we have the 11 here, which is the northernmost road that goes from Fairbanks to... How do you pronounce this, by the way? Prudhoe Bay, I hope? Yeah, and this is obviously a day 1 road because you have like max north foliage here and the American car blur. So in Gen 3 you can see 2 even bumps here on each side of the Google car. And also this coverage is special because we have 1 extra Google car driving behind us. So it's just a matter of lining up the road here. There's another segment that has a little bit more mountains, but we still have the pipe and the follow car and the same Gen 3 American blur here. You can judge by the absence of trees that we are max north here, and with this additional Google car following us and the mountains and the road angle, this should be a pretty easy 5K. So we are driving north here all the time on the 11. Switching to Canada shortly here, we have the 8 in the Northwest Territories. This is the road that goes from Fort McPherson to Inuvik. And the landscape might look similar to the Alaska log we've just seen, but it's completely different because we have Gen 2 here. And if you have Gen 2 with this one-of-a-kind northern foliage, you can check how the pines look like here. So we have very light barks here, and yeah, a lot of fireweed here also along the road. The road will be always unpaved, and it's also very rare that you see any mountains here on this road. So this is how the 8 in NT looks like. It's pretty recognizable, I would say. Yeah, switching back to Alaska here. We have the one near Anchorage here, which is recognizable through the Gen 4 coverage, and it will always be Blue Car 21. We'll always have a body of water to our south, followed by huge snow-capped mountains. Of course, the yellow plates help to recognize Alaska as well. Here I'm gonna show you one more sample of the same road. So you can see it's still blue car 21. We still have yellow plates. And we are driving parallel to the bay here. And it's the turn again arm. So regardless where you click on this road, you might also see the railroad that can help you 5K this one. But it's the same body of water to the south and the same snow-capped mountains southwest. So that was the one in Alaska. Moving south now, we have the Trans-Canada Highway, and here I'm talking only about this stretch in the Banff National Park, which is very recognizable. So technically it's Alberta, and you'll see the Alberta bollards here, but it almost looks like BC here. You'll see the mixture of plates here. Some cars won't have the fronts and some will. This is how you tell you're on the border somehow, but of course you have to recognize this road by the landscape only. So the Banff and the Jasper National Parks are very distinct with these rocky formations on both sides of the road. And of course it's a divided highway. The one is divided on most of its sections. Here is another sample so you can see the BC type barriers here, but most of the cars are lacking front plates. This is how you tell you're probably in Alberta still. And if it's a divided highway driving northwest or southeast, in between the two very fascinating looking mountain ridges, you could probably tell you're in Banff or Jasper. For the purpose of this video, I took this section from Saulback to Lake Louise. And we have one more road in Canada that I'm gonna be covering. It's the main Labrador road that starts in Quebec, but Quebec will have updated coverage. We are looking for this stretch with the striped car and either 21 or 22 copyright. How do I recognize this road apart from the car meta? You can see that most pines here will have this thick treetop, and it's very distinct and kind of unique. Not unique for Canada, but combined with the car meta. So it's a striped car 21 in this case. So same treetops that look thicker than the bottom. And very northern foliage here, obviously. You should never go wrong on this road. And on most of its segments, we are driving from west to east here. Alright, getting back to the US. I've been struggling a lot with this country in terms of Day 1 Road series. And I picked like two very obvious roads that you've probably seen before. First we have the 101. Oh, actually I haven't mentioned this, but this was the 500 in Newfoundland. Alright, switching back to the US. We'll have this road. With the Pacific coast to our west. It starts in California, goes through Oregon to Washington, but in Washington it's not always directly on the coast. I picked two areas where the coast is clearly visible, and with this Pacific Northwest foliage you should probably get it. I picked the stretch in Oregon because you'll also have the typical white lines here and the plates, obviously. Here we also have the Oregon bollard. So wide lines, southern or northwestern reflectors here. In the middle of the road, front plates. So yeah, a little bit of rocks sticking out of the water. So this should be only the matter of lining up this road, which is extremely long, but you should see that in California, of course, the foliage will be more like Mediterranean looking, maybe a little bit drier there. Oregon and Washington will of course have this Pacific Northwest type of trees. And we also have the one in Florida that goes to Key West. Here we've got these unique giant poles sticking out of the water, and you can see water on both sides of this road. It looks very tropical. You have palms here and there. Sometimes it can even look like that, so a little island here. Yeah, I don't think I should explain more here. It's a very touristy place, so this highway is likely to look a little bit busy. Otherwise, yeah, we're basically driving in the middle of the ocean here. Over to Mexico now. I picked two roads in Baja that have a very distinct vibe here. I'm not really sure if I should cover this gravel road, but it looks unique to me. So it's located near Guerrero Negro here. We have this very sandy road here. Of course, blue car, 21 copyright. It's completely flat and nothing is going on here. So this is another example of the same road. On the map it shows that we are like driving through water here, but yeah, doesn't really look like that. So of course it's very swampy, but I wouldn't call this stuff water, obviously. Not knowing this road might catch you off guard in some duels, but if you've seen it once, you'll probably remember this. Yeah, and here we've reached the dead end. A very unique looking road. You should probably identify Mexico by the blue car and the sun being to our south here. But otherwise, I guess that's the only place in Mexico that can look like that. And surprisingly, it's located in this western pocket of the peninsula. We also have the one here. Here we've got some basic Baja California meta, like wooden poles and these thick cacti, as well as this hazy blur that you'll have in the front. And if you see the road that is so straight with this driving angle, so you can see here, it basically doesn't change from Pabellon down until Santa Rita here. So the angle is the same. The cacti are also the same. We have the same hazy blur here, hanging pole tops as well. And this is how Baja normally looks like. And with this driving angle, this should be obvious. Of course, it's very hard to 5K this one because we have no curves, but try your best. Next, I picked the 54 that goes from the city of Zacatecas here to Saltillo. Why is this road special for me? First, we have to talk through the distribution of the yucca tree in Mexico, and as soon as you know that it's mainly like this area around SLP, like SLP to Monterrey basically, you'll find out that the 54 is pretty recognizable. It's basically the only major highway that has this road angle with such a big amount of yucca trees here growing along the road. And it's only the eastern part of Zacatecas that will have the yucca trees. You can just see how many of these are here. And that's pretty much one of a kind. And the road is always divided, and the road angle is basically the same. You'll have curves here and there, but it's mainly northeast. Using the mountain ranges that we have here, it's easily 5 cable, I would say. So that was the 54 in eastern Zacatecas. I have one special road in Guatemala as well. Of course, we'll have this unique pickup truck and Gen 3 coverage. For Guatemala standards, it looks kind of dry and flat. Obviously, you'll have a lot of oil palm plantations here, which is very typical for the northern part of Guatemala. But the road angle is very special here. As you can see, we are driving from south to the north here, and towards Flores the road angle can be random, but here on this stretch it's like gridded north to south. This might look like Brazil even if we ignore all the other meta. So yeah, that's the typical northern Guatemala landscape. And if it's not north to south, it's actually even more 5 cable, I would say. So yeah, just a couple of words about this PAT-11 road in northern Guat. Alrighty, it looks like we've covered North America, and it's time to switch over to Europe and Middle East. I have a couple of roads here as well. Yeah, actually, let's start with the 15 in Jordan here. This is the major divided highway in the country that goes from Amman to the south. And it's very distinct. I mean, you'll have a very dry landscape here, some towns here and there, but otherwise it's the road angle that helps you identify the right stretch here. It becomes even more dry and deserty towards the south. Like on any other divided highway, the driving direction might be different here on the 15. If you see a divided highway in Jordan and it doesn't look rural, just click the 15 and probably you are not wrong. We also have the 90 in Israel, which is a Gen 4 road. It's very recognizable. You will have a car here that resembles the UAE one. You can see a little bit of black in the front here. And this kind of has a hazy vibe to it, I would say. And it's mostly recognizable when you have the Dead Sea here to your east. But of course, on some other stretches, it's also Gen 4. It's also very hazy in the front. Yeah, obviously you'll have Hebrew here, yellow plates. So if you have Gen 4, you're driving north to south, and you have this hazy coverage with the South Africa road lines, you're probably on the 90 in Israel. Next we have the E99 in Turkey with these very eastern looking houses, but it is of course special because it's divided and it touches the Lake Van. It's the biggest body of water in the whole country. So when you see a big body of water and you have the eastern roofs made of sheet metal predominantly, you'll have to assume this is around Lake Van somewhere. This is another sample where you can clearly see the lake here. We'll have a very interesting landscape here. So it's mostly flat, but on the other side of the lake you'll see huge mountains sticking out. Interesting flowers. Yeah, if you know what these are, please let me know in the comments. Maybe it's also a meta for this region. Yeah, the eastern roofs, fake tiles, or just metal color. Very recognizable. And yeah, of course the lake has to be to our south. We do have divided highways on the other side. It's small cam. So yeah, depending on which side the lake is, you can probably 5K this easily, I'm hoping. I just took the E99 as an example of Lake Van landscape. Okay, Russia and Ukraine, we've covered this already. Oh, we have a very interesting road in Romania. So if you look at the Romanian terrain, the biggest mountain ranges are located in the middle of the country. And there's not a whole lot of coverage here, but there are some roads, obviously. Why did I pick this one? Because this one will have all yellow lines and I would say rather Turkish landscape. It's very recognizable. Of course, in Turkey you'll never find a blue car. And also, this is the other stretch of the same road. Oh, we have a... Oh, that's a bait actually. I hope you don't get this lock in your game because you have the Italian plate here, but otherwise... Well, obviously this is a very atypical location for Romania with the road lines. I mean, the guardrail should fit, but otherwise looks very Turkish, but it's rather for those who know. Let me click around the same road. It's actually the 67. See? 67. Yeah, we'll have the same. Maybe actually it's a meta for this road that this Italian Volkswagen is following you. The chevrons don't work for Italy, but the backs of the signs do. So yeah, good luck figuring this one out. This is pretty crazy. Alright, next we have the AP15 in Spain. Why is this unique? Because we'll have these Peruvian bollards here. And that's basically it. Of course, it looks like flat Spain. It is flat Spain, but these bollards, and it's also listed on Plonket as a unique feature of this road especially. I'm not gonna talk too much about this. We'll have the kilometer markers saying the road name here, so should be an easy one. And finishing off with Northern Europe here. First we're gonna check out this road in Poland. It could have shitcam coverage as well, but yeah, let me show you the other sample first. So why is this special? Of course, it's this little peninsula, the Hell Peninsula, sticking out of Vladislavovo, and the road number is 216. If you see Polish bollards and coast to your south with land across the way, and you also have this railroad to your north, that's basically the only place in Poland that can work, because we can click around. Yeah, sometimes the coast isn't visible, but yeah, that's why I picked this one. Yeah, we have shitcam here, but it doesn't really matter. So the bollards should still be recognizable. And water south, which is very unique. Okay, that was the 216 in Poland. We have a road in the Netherlands, and it's the A7 that also has to deal with water. Oh, we have a kilometer marker here with the road number, but it's okay. So basically we have water on both sides, but in the north you can't see it. It's very easy to recognize because it looks kind of hilly for the Netherlands standards, and you appear to be on a bridge of some kind, and this bridge is built between Den Oever and oh my god, wish me luck reading this, Kornwerdersand. And yeah, the road angle is always the same. It appears like you'll have this hill to your north all the time, and on the other side it's just the coast. So the driving direction could be different depending which side you are spawned on. You'll have yellow plates obviously, and it's a pretty easy A7 bridge here with this road angle. We also have a very unique looking road in Germany, and it's located on the Sylt island. And what I want to say is it looks kind of like northern Scotland maybe. Almost volcanic. So you'll have a little to no trees here. And we are driving from the south to the north all the time here. Small hills, not a single tree in sight, very swampy. And it's a very unique landscape. If you try to click around some other islands in Germany, you'll find out that they just look like Denmark basically. Just you'll just have the German bollards here. Otherwise, it looks green and completely normal. But this one, yeah. So if it looks like Scotland, but you have the German bollards, please consider clicking Sylt or Sylt. Yeah, I don't mind the false pronunciation as well. Alright, and it looks like we have one more road to cover, and this is the E10 or the Abisko road. That looks like Norway. We'll have the newest small cam coverage here. Yeah, it's very easy. It's very recognizable here. It looks max north in Sweden. We'll have the Swedish road lines still. And we have a big body of water to our north that can be lined up with the map. On some of its segments we'll have a railroad and no water, but otherwise with this low tree line you can probably identify the northern Swedish region anyway. So the E10 is likely to be the most recognizable roads in the whole country. Yeah, typical Norwegian foliage here with the snow-capped mountains even, and this Tornetresk, which is probably a bay here or a lake, I don't really know. How could I have forgotten about this one? Of course you can only get this like on a community world map probably, but it's the road that Rainbold used to 5k all the time, and it's this little stretch in Svalbard that goes to the main town of Longyearbyen. And yeah, it's so in this section we are actually entering the town with this very interesting vehicle. I don't know what this is. Yeah, we'll have this Greenland style houses obviously, and it's sundown coverage. It's very unique and recognizable, but it's more of a location that is played on a beginner level. I haven't really seen it on any of the competitive maps in play right now. Yeah, the Svalbard road. The water is obviously not mapped, so yeah, if you don't know it, you might be in trouble. Alright, it looks like this is gonna be it, not only for this episode, but for the series as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll post the link to the full Day 1 roads map in the description so you can test your knowledge here. Obviously you're free to comment on this video and suggest some other roads that I might have missed. And I'll see you guys later for more GeoGuessr content on this channel. Cheers.